Kim.
Adrian. Thursday Thunder.
Yes.
How are you?
Good, I'm really good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. I just finished training.
Arm workout?
It was arm day, baby.
Party Arms Friday.
Yeah.
On a Thursday.
Been training in the mornings all week because my training partner's on afternoon shifts.
Yep.
So I like training in the morning because it wakes you up.
I know, I do.
But then I'm one of these people, I can't get out of bed and go to the gym like a lot of people do. So if I'm training at 8 o'clock, I'm getting up at 6 so I can eat, sit down, wake up and everything. Otherwise my body just doesn't wake up.
No, I'm completely different. I can just
But I'm alright then after that. You know, after 90 minutes I'm awake, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm completely different. I can just roll out of bed, roll right into the gym and be fine.
Yeah, a lot of people, I can't.
But if I eat
I have to eat. I have to eat.
I can't.
I wake up starving, and if I don't eat, all I'll be thinking is I'm starving and I'll have a shit workout.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so, but it's good. It was arms today. Been interested in my recon program this month. You've been following some of it.
I have a little bit, yep.
Yeah, so it's just specific days. Like today was arm day, drop biceps and triceps. There's leg day, there's chest day, so forth. And it's only 4 or 5 exercises. Today was actually 8 exercises for arms, but it was only 1 set of each. So it's your one maximum set.
Yeah.
So you're going all out, balls to the wall on each exercise, 1 set to failure.
Yes, I know that quite well.
And it is. My arms are just so you sort of, you look at it and you think this is not going to do nothing, but man, you are just trashed. It takes about 35 minutes. But even now, I finished training 35-40 minutes ago and my breathing is still so it sets the metabolism going. Good workout. Anyway, huge week in bodybuilding last weekend. So the Arnold Classic, the Australian Arnold Classic, there was a lot going on, lots of controversies. We'll do a quick recap. In the amateurs, Nathan James Williamson is our newest pro.
Yep.
What do you think of that? I think it was a pretty clear-cut winner.
It was, definitely. Especially after New Zealand.
I mean, considering last week I called it that Nathan was going to be burned out.
Yeah.
And Ross was going to come through and take the win, but Ross Maloney ended up in 3rd.
Yeah.
And Ross was a bit smooth, whereas Nathan still brought a pretty good package considering it was his 3rd contest in a row.
Yeah.
And in the overall, Nathan was pretty well clearly the winner. But there was another star in that. We talked about him on a couple of our videos beforehand, was Peter Hartwig.
Yes.
Yeah, now Peter in the under 70s dominated that class, posed incredible, just Frank Zane-ish.
Very athletic, very
incredible,
aesthetic to look at.
Incredible routine. In the overall, they moved him from the end right next to Nathan.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny photo. Ari, if you can chuck it here now.
Yeah,
there you
which
go.
was, I mean, Nathan had 36 kilos on, but Peter held his own.
Yeah, he
and
really
if
did.
anything, if there was poses scored from, each pose and you scored it, Peter beat Nathan from the back.
Yeah.
I mean, Peter's back detail, his hamstrings detail, everything was just ridiculous. There was an interesting photo I saw on Bodybuilding Nation. Did you see that where they photoshopped
to make him 6 foot?
Peter to make him 6 foot, the same size as Nathan?
Yeah, it was.
Then if that was the case, Peter would be just a freak. But Peter won the Queensland in the under 80s, IFBB Queensland. He went to New Zealand, won the under 70s, and he won the Arnold Classic. Definitely, he was one of the stars of the whole IFBB campaign. Looked ridiculous. There was lots of controversy about the amateur show. I've been listening to a few podcasts and everyone's just bagging it on how bad it was run. It started 2 hours late. Because it started late, they had to finish at a certain time. So in the end, some of the later divisions had no comparisons whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just on stage for 30 seconds and boom, they picked out a top 10 and then a top 5.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know why it's so hard to start a comp on time. I mean, I've been running comps since 2000, and I'm proud to say every single one of my shows, if it says it's a 9:30 a.m. start or what, it starts at 9:30 a.m. It's not that hard. I do not understand how some federations find it so difficult to start a contest on time.
Very, very.
The only reason that is, it's absolute laziness and lack for attention.
Yeah.
If your show starts at 9:30, well, your staff and everyone don't rock up at 9. You get to the venue at 6, have everything ready for a 9:30 start. I mean, it's just, It is crazy, and all that does is it affects the competitors. The competitors are expecting a 9:30 start. They're planning their meals for a 9:30 or 10:30 whenever they're on stage. If they're on stage 2.5 hours later, it's going to mess with everything.
It is. It's going to throw in the entire.
So I can understand all these competitors being upset, but what I cannot understand is how they just can't start a show on time.
Yeah, it's poor. You pay money.
Yeah.
Well, imagine those people paying money for a ticket. It's like, oh, what if they break dinner? Like,
I've been to just about every show that's here in Adelaide, and I'm not blowing my trumpet, but I am sort of. But apart from my own show, no show ever starts on time.
No,
and I just cannot understand why that can't be the case.
Yeah.
I advertise for 3 o'clock start. Freaking hell, start at 3 o'clock. It's not that hard. Anyway, that's my little rant, you know. But there was a lot of competitors who were upset over that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work, especially if you're dieting for 20 weeks and you're spending all this money and you're on stage for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And you hit a front and a back pose and that's it, and your day's over. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, I'd demand my entrance feedback.
Yeah.
That was me anyway.
So it's anyway. What other things that happened there? I think that's about it. I mean, look, the whole consensus mainly was about no show. None of the bodybuilding started on time, apparently. You know.
What I found interesting most of all was the shitstorm after the comp on Facebook, the threads going off, and that was just amazing. So much fun to read.
Yeah, and it's still going on.
Oh, yeah, it's still.
Yeah.
A couple of days later, still strong.
People complaining that my girlfriend should have won. And all this, it just goes. Gives interesting reading always afterwards.
It really is. It really is.
Anyway, on to the pro show. So in the pro show, we had who won?
Brandon Curry.
Brandon Curry won. I got some interesting stuff. I'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Remind me when you finish talking about that. So Brandon Curry won. Was it Lockett came second?
Yes. And then Dallas would have probably placed higher.
Yeah, Dallas McCarver actually then collapsed on stage and was helped off stage. He was virtually dragged off stage.
Yeah.
I saw the video.
Yeah, he was limp.
Yeah, he was pretty well gone. And if that guy, I must admit, that backstage marshal, man, he was out there like a rocket, wasn't he?
Strong, so he dragged him away.
Dallas they were moving into a transition or a pose. Dallas sort of stood up, he put his hands on his thighs, shook his head, and his head dropped, and this backstage marshal was there within like whoosh, like 2 seconds and caught him.
Yeah.
And all the other competitors then helped, and he was dragged off. One leg was limp and he was dragged off. I heard that he was put straight onto a chair backstage and onto a drip. Yeah. Dallas turned around and said that he had a respiratory infection, which he most probably did, but most probably that, in combined with diuretics, etc., would have dehydrated him. He was put on a drip, and he was apparently all right after that. He came back for the night show. He wanted to compete, but the head judge didn't let him compete, which I think is a good call.
Yeah.
There was another thing I wanted to talk. Guy Sistinano was in 5th, which wasn't bad. He's a 212 competitor.
I know.
And he just competed because Tony asked him to compete.
Yeah.
And he looked really good, you know, mixing it up with the big boys. The other thing I want to talk about is Atif Anwar, the Australian pro. I'm disappointed in Atif. He won his pro card about 3 years ago. Everyone had these huge high hopes for Atif, you know. And since then he hasn't delivered the goods. You know?
He's.
I think every show he's done, he's been in last place pretty well. He was last here. Look, by all means, Atif is. You know, I've spoken to him a couple of times when I was in Melbourne. I've met him at things, and he's a really nice guy and everything, but he's not producing the goods, you know. And really, the physique Atif put up on the pro stage, I don't think he would have been top 5 in the amateur super heavyweights.
No. Sadly, no. He's not putting that.
I hope he gets his shit together, basically, you know. Get someone really good to look after him. He's got good mentors there at Doherty's with Tony himself and Josh, everyone else there.
Yeah.
So, because I think he's got the potential, but he's just, the condition he brought on stage was terrible.
Yeah,
it really was.
He's represented his country, he's not doing it very well.
Yeah.
Best way to put it.
Yeah. You know, there could be reasons for it, but he's got to get his act together, I think. All right, moving along. Flex wheeler comeback. We spoke about this as well. He's coming back into the classic physique at the Olympia. There's a few photos starting to come around now. So if you're on Instagram, follow him. He's putting up a few pictures. Ari's, I think he'll have a couple of pictures here to put on there. Again, it's turning into one of these things like he did with Kevin. You know, oh, should he compete or shouldn't he compete? You know, he's making a mistake and rah, rah. Look, he's not doing a comeback into the seniors. Yeah. You know, which I think is a good idea. He's doing it into the classic physique. He doesn't have to put on the extreme muscularity he had before and the size. So, I mean, good on him.
Good on him. If he can bring that streamlined figure he's known for.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll kill it.
I mean, he brings those lines in, he'll do really well, you know. So I hope that's the case, and I hope he doesn't hurt himself in the process. He does only have one kidney.
Oh, there you go then.
Yeah.
Well, after this, let's hope Lou Ferrigno comes back for a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah. Sean Ray's pretty vocal about it. You know, Sean Ray's been pretty vocal about a lot of things after this contest. Yeah. So again, if you're following Sean Ray, I'm sure you're pretty well up to it. If not, check Sean Ray out. He's been pretty vocal. We're talking about a lot of topics, including Dallas and Dallas's coach and Flex Wheeler's comeback. And I did hear at the Arnold Classic, he emceed apparently the amateur show. Yeah. And because of all the hold-ups and everything, they reckon at one stage he actually turned around and said, "Oh, we've got a bit of a wait now, so I'm just going to talk about myself." And he apparently proceeded to talk about himself for about 35, 40 minutes. Yeah, he's good. How he won a pro card, how he won all these shows and everything. So he's pretty good at that.
Yes.
Anyway, we got a couple of questions.
Yes, we do.
All right. What's the first one? John.
Okay, from John. He asks, what's the best active ingredients to look out for in a pre-workout, and what are the best choices around at the moment, and why?
Oh, wow, this is a really loaded question.
It really is.
It depends on what you want in a pre-workout. Yeah, and that's what I ask people straight away is, do you want lots of stims? Do you want pump? Do you want medium stims? Do you want a lot of pump? You know, I mean, because that's what the difference is really. So in the end, it's all about caffeine content, and pre-workouts start from anywhere from 150 milligrams and go up to 450 milligrams. But
like, what's the best choices? Like, what would I pick, I guess? I'd think it's something like an all-rounder, fairly low stimulant to mid-stimulant, a lot more nitric oxide producers, because I do like that skin-tight feeling. Yeah, same here. And as well as just a tiny bit of beta-alanine. I don't do very well with it, but a little bit just to keep the lactic out of my blood. Yeah. And that's pretty much what I'd use. Yeah. I think look, I've said this and a lot of times, I think long-term use of a pre-workout with high caffeine can be detrimental. Yeah, it can. And I'll again reiterate here and tell you that if you are getting that feeling that my pre-workout is not working, well, that's a sign for you to actually go off your pre-workout. You know? Reset your old body. Your adrenals are shot. Don't go looking for a stronger pre-workout, because all you're doing is just putting more stress on your body and your adrenals. I suggest is go off your pre-workout, go on to ATP Cord RX, reset your adrenals, and use something like AMP-V before you train. So totally non-stimulant base, but good mental focus, and you still get a good energy. So look, I think in the end, the best active ingredients, I mean, if you get a pre-workout that has got a lot of citrulline in it, I think that's good. Yes, citrulline is going to carry all those nutrients into the cell. It's going to enhance the pumps, etc. Which is a good thing. I think any pre-workout with 3 or more grams of citrulline is a good pre-workout. It is definitely. You know, there's not many that will have that amount of dose in it. You know, so just look around, have a look at the ingredients and see if citrulline's in there. I think that's always a good thing to have in the it's a lot more beneficial than arginine, because it doesn't filter through your kidneys. But usually if it's got citrulline, it's going to have arginine in there. It's just going to enhance the uptake of those ingredients. It's going to enhance the uptake of all the ingredients in the product and make it a better product. So we've got Zach. Hey guys, I've got bursitis in my shoulder due to a rock climbing injury. Should I let it completely rest for a month or train around it? And what can I do? If your shoulder hurts, well then you don't train. Seek treatment. Look, the first thing is get treatment, obviously. Either go to look, some people say physios. I don't know, I think go to a good massage therapist and get work on that shoulder.
Physiotherapy can be of benefit as well. And then pretty well you're going to have to avoid any aggravating of that.
Yeah, a lot of lateral head and a lot of like lateral rotation can aggravate bursitis, especially in the AC joints. You want to maybe, if you can probably still do them, but probably go with a lot lighter weight.
Yeah, sometimes machine exercises for shoulders can be a lot better because it keeps that shoulder rotation and arm in a specific plane all the time, compared to a free weight. As you get fatigued, you can start moving around. So, but the main thing for me is, I would obviously, me being crazy, I still keep training, but I try to train around it. Obviously, avoid exercises that hurt. If it is so bad that you can't do any chest or shoulders, well then so be it.
Everyday leg.
But I think treatment is the main thing. A lot of people will. I have learned now, in all the time that I've been training, that if you have an injury, get it treated.
Yeah, well that's
one. It's going to heal a lot faster and get you back into the gym and prevent more injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that would be my first thing. Get treatment. Train around the injury. Simple rule is if an exercise hurts, well, you don't do it.
Yeah.
Go around the gym and you try different exercises and you note them down that this one doesn't hurt. Don't go too heavy, and you should still be able to train around the injury while it heals. If you can't, well then you're going to have some time off.
Yeah. Or even worse comes to worse, cortisone.
Yeah.
Which
exactly right. Right, that's it.
We have some products.
That's it, all the news?
Yep.
Let's just talk about our exciting release that we've been waiting for. So the ATP No Whey Protein is now in stock at all Australian muscle stores and online. This has been the highly anticipated no whey, as in whey protein that ATP has been on about for the last couple of months.
Yep,
we were all wondering what it was. They're saying it's not whey, it's not beef, it's not plant. Now, well, technically it is beef.
Yeah.
It's a collagen, derived from bovine collagen. So basically, in a nutshell, we'll do an in-depth review video on this next week.
Yes.
But we'll just quickly run it by you now that this is a 100% collagen peptide protein. Mm-hmm. The idea behind that is that it's very fast absorption. So in a nutshell, if you have a 30-gram serve of whey protein, pretty well half of that is only going to reach the bloodstream as amino acids. And it's just it's the same with anything you eat. Your meat, your chicken, everything. Not all of it hits the bloodstream as amino acids.
Yeah.
There's a digestion process, etc. Collagen peptides are a very unique blend of amino acids which go straight into the gut and are absorbed pretty well 100%.
Yeah.
So the serving size in this, you may look at it and think, oh, it's only a 15-gram serve, which is giving you about 15 grams of amino acids because it's virtually 100% protein. But you're getting the same amount of protein into the bloodstream as you would with a whey protein serve.
And I've been using it the last 2 days and I just found it great, like digestive wise.
It's one of these proteins that really, you have a serve of this and 20 minutes later it's like it's gone.
Yeah, it's like you had it. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. So look, there's advantages and disadvantages to that. The disadvantage is that it does not give you that little bit fuller feeling that whey protein does.
Yep.
It mixes really like it's water with chocolate flavour.
Yep.
It's very watery, very simple and quick and easy to drink. It mixes beautifully, really clean. I mean, I can see the benefits of collagen peptides.
Yeah, it's
definitely. Yeah. So we'll do a really good in-depth review on that, but it's available now in stores. It's $69.95 and it's 55 serves.
Yeah.
So it works out great value.
Very great value.
Most probably even better value than whey. Generally, a kilo of whey is, you're looking usually about 32 serves.
Yeah.
And then about the same price.
If you take that whole half into equation, you probably get 16 serves.
Yeah.
So worth it. Definitely worth it.
That's right. So if you're looking for something different, if whey protein upsets your stomach, gives you a little bit of bloating, etc. If you're lactose intolerant, well then definitely the no whey ATP is the go. And I will incorporate it in, but I'm not going to eliminate whey protein.
No.
I'm going to use the no whey as my post-workout protein and my first thing in the morning protein.
Yeah.
Just for that fast absorption into the bloodstream.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing too.
I think that's it.
You did have some little bit of interesting news about...
Oh, you want me to talk about... okay. All right. the Cedric conversion. Why didn't Cedric compete at the Arnold? Remember we spoke about it last time?
Yeah.
That Cedric had an obligation to his sponsor, Well, the new rumour out, and this makes sense, is that Cytec, and I'm not saying this is true, but it makes sense, that Cytec possibly didn't want Cedric to compete in New Zealand and in Australia because they wanted Brandon to win, because Brandon's inside.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. You know, and that makes sense.
Yes.
You know, they're two athletes. They've now gotten great exposure for Brandon Curry.
Yeah.
Good for their brand. So their two top athletes have now won three Arnold Classics between
that's
them.
A good advertising.
That's a good promotion. So yeah, makes sense, and I think it makes more sense than the other reason that was given to us last time.
Yes.
On that note, Cedric is coming to Adelaide and to Australia next week.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think he's at one of the local stores on Tuesday, and I think he's in Murray Bridge on Monday. I'm sure if you just check out Facebook, you're going to see where he is. You're going to see lots of posts. We had Cedric at the gym here and at our stores last year, and he's a really nice guy.
Yeah. Maybe we can try getting to the gym again.
Yeah, I did tell the promoters that Cedric's always welcome, and he always said that when he was here last week that he wants to come back.
Well, there you go.
So you never know.
Stay tuned.
All right, thanks guys. That's a wrap. That was a big one again.
It was.
So lots of news. So guys, we'll quickly grab our specials. Don't forget our Max's Mass and Lean Stacks with the free singlet. ATP Science, get 15% off, and that now includes the No Whey Protein. 20% off for Victory Labs. Optimum Nutrition Amino Energy Twin Pack, only $60 for the 30 serves. 30 serves for $60.
$1 a serve.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
We're done. I've got to go to the shop. I've got 15 minutes to get to work. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to like and share, and we'll catch you guys next week.
See you later.
See ya.